Isle of Man. It's been a year since we have been here racing, so we're just getting off of the ferry now, and the first stop is going to be the CAF. So Steve, are you looking forward to this?
Oh yeah, I always love going to the CAF. Big Irish breakfast.
I meant the racing.
Oh, that as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it'll be good. It's yeah, been a while, but I don't believe it. Oh no, they've gone wrong. We're not the Isle of Man. Look, there's blue skies. Sun.
Don't worry, the rain is due back for the racing on Friday.
I was getting concerned there.
So with us, of course, we have Kevin, and of course we have little Rusty, who's been living with us since October last year. So Rusty was living on the island with our dear friend Martin until October, and he's been living at Moody Manor with us since October. So this is his first trip back. So here we are, off to Castletown. Southern 100 course, and time to go and set up in the paddock. We're hitch 142 with Neil and Sam Lloyd next to us on pitch 141, and behind us those gorgeous glubbers, Dave and Dawn. I feel sorry for anyone having to pitch up next to us. The boys are busy making themselves at home in the paddock. Rusty seems to be adjusting to paddock life quite quickly. I'm sure it won't be long before he works out that the paddock is full of bacon sandwiches and burgers. So this is our pitch 142. Steve is going to park the van up, set the awning up, and Joy and Steve have kindly let us borrow their van for the few days so we can leave the van set up here, use that, and we're staying at Joy and Steve's. Hee, result, result, result. So we're all set up in the paddock, and before we head off to Port Erin Beach, we are going to do a lap of the Southern 100 that Steve's going to talk us through.
Yeah, so this is the start finish, so race control there. So head off down here, it's the Billown Circuit, which is 4¼ mile. So this is you've got the return road into the paddock that's painted red, so you go off left down there, and that's the paddock down the back there. So unlike the TT and the Manx and everything that's sort of one or two start at a time, this is a mass start. So first corner coming up here, just on this sort of brow here, Ballakeegan. Hit the brakes, and then you've got a 90-degree right hand turn, so which is just here. So a fairly late apex, see all the painted curbs and everything. Fairly late apex. And right out to this side, there's been a few people, I've nearly done it myself once or twice, went up on the curb there getting all overexcited, and then see right in the distance, then It's nice long straights. You've got a fair amount of time on this circuit, just to catch your breath, keep checking down on the temperature gauge and everything on little 400, and make sure you're not over revving the 350. So then you're looking for your breaker marker down there. I always look towards these trees on the left to Iron Gate. So again, it's one of those that I haven't done a lot here, so you're better off braking a little bit early. Get as close as you can to that white wall on the inside. Run it out, but then not too far, because then you've got another left-hander coming up here. So this is Billown, so a left-hander, and then there's a little escape road if you get it wrong into Joey's Gate. So hopefully they'll open that, so just in case you get it wrong. So then you've got the run up here to Ballabeg Corner. It is as bumpy as anything I've seen smoother motocross tracks, to be fair. So this will rattle the fillings out, and then up here you can get caught out again quite easily if you're in a bit of a tank slapper. You can't get on the brakes, and then you've got a really nasty tight little hairpin corner. So go on, my love. So then watch the bales on the outside, and this is the iconic place. You get pictures coming out where you're running alongside people's front doors. So again, from first gear and accelerating up through the box. This is Ballawhetstone. So again, look to the on the white wall on the left hand side, your peel in point, and then there's a white on the left that's dead opposite your apex. So you get right over onto the curbs on the right hand side there, and you can let it run right out on here, and then just a nice big smooth S through here. Out to the right hand side, those white bales or the white wall on the right hand side. Get yourself set up. This on the smaller bikes, this is flat on the smaller bikes. People who know what they're doing, is flat on the bigger bikes as well. But you've got to know where you're going. And again, there's a little rise there on the bigger bikes. They'll be wheeling. So then head over to the right hand side, the right hand curb, to set yourself up. Again, this is fairly easy. Left-hander, I mean, it looks really tight, but then it opens out nicely. And you've got a nice little straight. Again, this is where it's not exactly a straight, but you take it as a straight, so it's sort of weaving one side to the other. And then another really heavy braking area, so you want to run down right hand side, down here, get on the brakes in the cross four ways, and then tug it into the left to get all your braking done in a straight line. And then again, this is another nasty little corner. You can easily get it wrong. One of the good things is that on this circuit, some of the places like that you're likely to lose the front or whatever, you're not doing ridiculous speeds, or you can run on. So again, from a almost dead stop corner, coming up the church bends, it's blind going in. There's a change in tarmac that I use. Where is it? Down here. So the brakes, and then tuck it in on the right hand curb on there. Then it's heave the bike over to the left, and then you want to get as close as you can to this wall. Scrub your shoulder on the wall, right to the outside on the curb on the right hand side, and then it's flat stick all the way down through here, then up in the top gear down towards Stadium Corner. again, this caught me out the first ever time I got here, Great Meadow. This caught me out thinking, oh yeah, it's flat, people have told me it's straight. And then all of a sudden you hit a corner and you can easily run out of room and all you see is that wall on the left hand side. So that gets the old pupper valve into action. So again, and you can really feel it down there. If you've got somebody in your slipstream, you can really feel it dragging you back and you're thinking, right, which way are they going to go? But again, you want to run down the right hand side, down here in the stadium. It's a double apex left. So you turn in, you're looking for that white wall on the inside. So clip there, run out, clip there, then let it run right out onto the curbs on that side. And then again, another big heavy braking zone down in the Castletown corner. And there's a nasty little bump on the right on the inside here. Catches you out every time on that little tarmac patch that they've done. And you see, normally see Elaine there shouting and swearing, doing the pit signals. It's normally the middle finger. I'm not sure if she thinks I'm first. That never happens. But and then you're on the run down to the finish again. So that is a lap, 4.25 miles of the Billown circuit.
So Steve, it's Friday and it's first practice. So do you want to tell the folks what's been going on, what you've been doing and what the weather's been like?
Yeah, been glorious weather, just like it has been for the last few weeks. I was back home. And then, yeah, first practice is tonight. And, yeah, rain's due in. So, typical Ironman, really. So,
yeah, first practice is 6 o'clock and the rain's due in at 6 o'clock.
Yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. Same for everyone, isn't it? So, so yeah, all set up. We got both bikes are ready. Got to say a big thank you to Ray Stevens and Julie for giving me the opportunity to ride the K4 again. So yeah, looking forward to that. That's all ready to go. And then I got our little 400, so in the 400 race as well. So and big thank you to Ian Sinclair for getting everything sorted, prepping it. So basically, you haven't raced. Well, the last road race I've done was this event last year. Some raced since then. I've had one meeting at Mallory. And unfortunately ended up on the backside. So yeah, but thanks to Ian, he's sorted it all out, got everything ready. So yeah, hopefully I'm just going to have a nice sort of steady little approach to it this weekend, because this ain't really the place you want to be falling off. So yeah, I think just go out, enjoy it, that's the main thing. I've had a whale of a time this week so far. Been really nice meeting up with a load of old mates in the paddock again, and yeah, it's just one of those really nice events, so looking forward to it.
So Steve, what classes are you riding in?
On the Drixton it's the 350 Classic, and then on this it's the lightweight 400cc class, post Classic.
Cool.
So yeah, we got they're both out in practice tonight, and then tomorrow afternoon we've got one, or is qualifying, one session on each, and then one race on each of them on Sunday.
Cool. And we have two pit pups with us. We have Kevin and Rusty, and we're parked up with Sam and Neil and the Glovers, having a really good time. And a massive big thanks to Steve and Joy for letting us stay at their house so we don't have to slum it in the paddock. Thanks, Joy. Luxury, yeah. Right, time to give these dogs a walk before we go and see if there's any changes to tonight's schedule, because there's bound to be at some point, and then take the bikes down for scrutineering.
Yes.
So folks, as predicted, the weather has turned an hour earlier than expected. So out come the dries and on go the wets, because it's unlikely it's going to clear. So after weeks of unbroken sunshine, first practice is the first drops of rain. It's quite heavy rain and the temperature has dropped considerably. So we're now going to take the Honda through scrutineering. So there's Elliot, and behind is Neil with his 400 as well. So the bike sailed through scrutineering, so no issues there. The rain seems to have eased up a little bit, but it's still going to be wet practice tonight. So this is Steve's first and probably only practice session for tonight. We've discovered that the tyres are out of date on the Drixton, so unless we can get them changed by 20 past 8, then the Drixton isn't going out tonight. So Steve is going out on his NC29. Neil Lloyd is going out on his 400, and Dave Glover is going out on his TZ250. There's the siren. I better help Moods get out. There he is. Time for me to leg it down to the holding bay. So the boys are now, I'm out of breath. Going out on the dummy grid. I can't see Steve, but I can see Mr. Glover. So good morning folks, it's now Saturday afternoon and this is the second qualifying session. As you can see, this is Parc Fermé. All bikes set up. Qualifying has already started this afternoon. Last night's practice didn't go quite as planned. The heavens opened shortly before roads closed, which meant it was wet practice. Steve only managed 3 laps on the NC29, and the Drixton didn't pass scrutineering because although it had new tyres, the new tyres were out of date, so he didn't get out on that. As you can see, the Drixton is through today with another new set of tyres. However, the little Honda is struggling to get through scrutineering due to a few technical faults, but she sailed through yesterday. That's the way it goes, I suppose. So hopefully Steve will be along soon. We're not sure if we're going to run wets or dries on the Honda. So there's the dries. The bike has still got the wets from last night. So we'll find out what's happening from Steve in a minute. So that was all a little bit stressful, but both bikes are now through scrutineering. So it's now Dave's turn to go out in practice. He's in the Junior Super Sport race on his TZ250. Despite the fear of rain and dark clouds overhead, the guys have opted to go with dries. So it's a frantic change because both Neil and Steve are out in the next race. So it's all hands on deck to get the wheels changed. So we just spent ages changing the tyres, and guess what? It's spitting with rain face. All the best Steve, all the best Neil. Right, time I run down to the dummy grid. Woohoo! Right, so apparently Steve got waved coming, but nobody seems to know why. Absolutely gutting because Steve was flying, he was in 6th. What a shame. Let's just hope whatever the issue is, it can be easily rectified. Unfortunately though, he's probably lost his grid position for later. So Steve, this afternoon's practice is over. It started off incredibly well, but potentially it's not finished as well. So do you want to tell everybody what may have happened?
Yeah, after last night's disasters with trying to get through screwing here in and everything, today went out on the K4 on the 350 first. So obviously that was the first time out on it this week because I didn't get out last night. And yeah, just sort of steadied into it. New tyres, so I had to bed them in. There was a few damp patches still, but that was okay. Just sort of settled into it. Ended up tagging onto the back of the group, and I think qualified 13th.
13th in class, yeah, 3:13.
Yeah, out of 31 or whatever it was. So yeah, that was okay. but then going on to the last lap, there was a couple of points I thought I just missed a gear, wasn't engaging first gear properly, and yeah, and then by the end of the lap couldn't get it into first gear at all, couldn't get it into top, really struggling to change gear. So we're waiting for someone to come and have a look, but we think well, it's got a gearbox issue. So basically, instead of going into first or into fifth, it just hits the neutral. So basically it's only got 3 gears, and so yeah, so that's an issue with that. So but made it back, then hot-footed it straight onto the 400. Went out on that, and I think I was up to 6.
Yep, you were up to 6 flying.
So that was, yeah, felt really good, getting into a good rhythm with that. And then come across start finish line, got the black flag with my number on it, so pulled straight off, and apparently one of the marshals had noticed there was a bit of smoke or steam coming out of it, and now think that we've got a head gasket gone. That's my initial diagnosis. But again, we got it all stripped down and everything. We're just going to go out and help Neil and Dave with their races, and then yeah, have a look at the bikes. But it's looking increasingly like it's going to be race meeting over. Bought 2 bikes over and broke a pair of them. So it's normal service has been resumed for me racing on the Isle of Man.
That's a shame, but we've had some fantastic company and great times, and I understand there's a little bit of something going on in the Glover's awning, so let's go and see what's occurring over there. So Dave has now got himself his own dolly brolly.
Come to the balance. There we go.
Cool. It's now time for Neil's first race of the weekend. The weather sport race. Is Sunday, and the only one who's going to be racing today out of our little group is Neil. So Dave had his race yesterday evening. Our bikes are both broken, so Neil is out very soon on his 500, and then he will then be out on his little 400 in the post-classic 400cc race later this afternoon. Rain was forecast, but at the moment it's blue skies and sunshine, but it is a wee bit breezy. So roads close at 1 o'clock, first race is 1:10 1. that these three amigos brought with them, only two are running. Dave's TZ250 and Neil's 400. So there's one more race for the guys today. The weather is looking like it's closing in. They've got the wets to the ready, and hopefully Neil will get a finish on the 400, and then it's pub o'clock time. So that siren is to give them a 2-minute warning to get themselves ready to go up to the dummy grid. So this is the final race for the guys. Neil Lloyd racing his 400 in the post classic 400 race. So it's time now to get on the boat and time to say farewell to this beautiful island. So final words, Steve?
Disappointing race result. Well, there was no result because I didn't even start, let alone finish. But yeah, for the actual racing side, disappointing, bit of a shame. But like people say, that's racing. But we have had a good week. It's you know, a real shame for Ray and Julie for their bike, because I really wanted to get them a finish on their little K4. Unfortunately, it's just, you know, just wasn't meant to be. But thanks again to them for, you know, all the effort getting it here and giving it a go, giving me a chance to ride it again. And thanks to, you know, we've had a good time catching up with a load of old friends on the island. Dave, Dawn, Sam, Neil, you know, just so many people. The list goes on and on, just old familiar faces, you know, in the paddock. So yeah, so back home now, lick my wounds and
repair some bikes
again.
Okay, well, we best get on this ferry, and the boys have just had a McDonald's breakfast, so they're all ready to go. So time to sign out from Douglas. Thank you everybody for watching, and massive thanks to Joy and Steve again for letting us stay at their gorgeous bungalow.